Hello everyone, welcome to our next video. In this video, we are going to cover what are controlled components in React. So first we will create a new component, a test component. This is basically a simple create React tab as we are always start with a fresh app, and this is just a basic app component that is rendering. We will take the help of a new component called example, just an example or chase that will be enough. Let's create a component by using our SCE shortcut, and let's just keep it as it is, and let's add this component in our app so that we see everything is stitched properly, and it should show example on the screen, and yeah, it is. So now let's go to our component, and so first let's go give it an example or give it a heading. Okay, that is fine. Now we will create an input. Okay, just an input field. This is the normal HTML syntax. This is how you create an input field, and we should see an empty input field over here, and we should be able to write anything in this field. So yeah, we are able to write anything in this field. Okay, that's fine. Now, what? So this is not a controlled input field. Okay, not a controlled component or input field. Okay. So this is not a controlled component. So then which one is? So let's create a controlled component. So by that we mean that we will control what will be what its value will be and how its value is going to change, when and how. And let's see, just for example, we will start by giving it initial value. So you know that there is the prop of value. If we give it some prop, this is the attribute of normal HTML. In normal HTML as well, if you put anything in value, this will take it as an initial value. Okay, so let's see over here. So yeah, in the second field we have this initial value over here, but the problem over here is if I type something in it, I am not allowed to type anything. Okay, it is however, in this field I'm able to type, but in this field I am not able to type anything. That is because we have fixed that its value is going to be this. It is whenever it may be rendering again and again, but it is finding that we have fixed this value to be val. So now how are we going to do that? And just to be sure that it is getting changed, we have an on change event handler on an input field, and this works the similar way. We pass a function, arrow function, and we will cover in detail about this on change event handlers. But for now, we you can see that in input field, you have this element and a function event handler, and you will pass an e over here. That's an event object related to this input field. And if you have covered the input fields in HTML, this is the same concept. Okay, now you can do console.log e dot target dot value. You know that e dot target value will give us whatever it is written in this field, whatever is tried to be written in this field. Now let's see. Now if I open the console now, if I let me remove this and I try to write something. So I press Y and now I press T and now I press R E W. So you see it updates my value to be this, but on the UI side it gets the previous value again because I have fixed this value to be val. Now maybe if you combine our use state tutorial learnings and in this, so you can guess that we can, if we can modify this value, it will give us the updated value. And how can we do that? We can just set val to be e dot target dot value. Now the magic will happen. If I try to write y p r w w, now you see that these values are getting updated. This input field is getting updated now. As I was updating this, I can update this input field as well. Now this one is a controlled component and this one is not controlled because this is not controlled by React, by us. This is controlled by DOM automatically. It is updating its value. And this component is controlled by React. We are controlling it using value and on change, two basically props or attributes. Okay, these are props if you're talking about React, and these are also attributes if you talk in terms of HTML. Okay, so now similarly, so now this is a let me give them headings to clarify that this is an uncontrolled component or controlled by DOM by default. Okay, and this is a controlled component controlled by us, yeah, React. You can say React by using well and on change handler. Okay, so that's it. So that is all about control component. So similarly, this is the this is for this works for normal input field, and it can be any other field. In it can be a checkbox, it can be a radio button, it can be a Slack. We usually most of the times we use control components in React. And why do we do that? Because we use control components for accessing values like on submit, checking validation, etc. So for example, if we have a submit button and we need to see what values is inside this input and what values inside this input. So for example, I can have a new form, for example, okay, a new button, okay. It is called submit, and I can on click is equal to on submit. Okay, and this is just if I can directly write the name of the function as well. In our next video, we will cover in detail how this works. Okay, how these events and functions and all that work. But you get the idea. Okay. Now I want to log over here whenever this button is clicked. Now I want to log the value of both these fields. Value of input field 1 and input field 2. Okay. Now whenever this is clicked, now you see value of input field 1 and value of input field 2. Both are empty. So both are empty whenever I click on it. But I want to now, can you guess how can we how can we find the value of, how can we get the value of in second input field? So yeah, probably val, because that is what we have bind this variable input field to. If we write val over here, so now if I do submit, you see initial value and blah 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 whatever it is. And if I change it, if I write it test and click on submit, you see in the value of input field 2 is 10, but we don't have access to our first input variable over here in React component side. Okay, there. So that's why we use control components. And if there were to be more input fields, more any other kind of input field, that there can be text area, there can be checkboxes, radio buttons, select, etc. So we will get these with their values by using this val attribute and then on change attribute. So I guess yes, that was it. That was about it about control components and for this tutorial. And I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to join our Discord community where you can ask questions if you're stuck and work together with the like-minded individuals. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.